Let's do Eagles of the Republic. I don't even
Okay.
know what that is, so I'm curious.
That's none of your business what Eagles of the Republic is. I know you're the boss, Eric, but don't tell me what to do.
What do you think you'd come here just to hear what I think of movies? Get the hell out of here.
I know. I'm going ballistic on you right now. No. Very good, Eric. So Eagles of the Republic currently, as of this recording, it has a 70% Rotten Tomatoes rating. I disagree with that in a good way. I think it should be higher. That said, this movie is getting 70%. I think, Eric, 70% is okay. Not bad, right? That's solid.
In some
This,
cases, 50% is great because it divides audiences, and that's what you want. I
yeah,
don't know if
Eric,
that's the case for Eagles of the Republic, but
well, here's the thing. Do you like thrillers? It's a big
yes.
genre. Okay, broad scope. How many thrillers do you think are humanistic thrillers? And how many humanistic thrillers? Because
What do you mean?
humanistic meaning filled with humanity. Thrillers that have not really,
I
because a
mean,
lot of them are exercises in genre, and I don't see
uh,
many humanistic thrillers, I suppose.
are you talking about something like Reverence, something like that?
Oh, very good. Yeah, very. That's a very. I love that movie. Very good. Yeah, very, hard to find movies like that, right? Or do you disagree? You can find movies that have a lot of humanity that are thrillers.
Oh, we kind of cover a bunch of them. I
Okay,
would say there's a bunch, but
it's
based off
hard.
what you're saying, they're not ones that you would normally. They're not mainstream, I suppose.
And this one, it's weird because this one actually is has a mainstream element to it, and there are a lot of things to love about Eagles of the Republic. That said, it's being released on Friday, April 17th, probably not in a million multiplexes out there, but the production design is fantastic, and it's directed by Tarik Saleh. Tarik Saleh is a director that probably I had no idea about. Eric probably had no idea about. But if Eric and I went onto IMDb and looked up Tarik Saleh's work, we'd see he was the director behind a movie we both enjoyed several years ago called The Contractor, which stars Eric, what not, which stars not Eric Holmes, which stars Chris Pine and Ben Foster. So I think if you look that up, you will remember it. Yeah, that's a good movie by Tarik Saleh. But this one, Eagles of the Republic, is the final installment of his Cairo trilogy. This Egypt set film centers on George Fahmy. He is a star of Egypt, probably Egypt's most celebrated movie star, and he's played by Ferris, the actor Ferris. And pressure in this movie, he is pressured by the country's highest authorities to star in a government-backed prestige film. George reluctantly accepts, only to find himself drawn into the inner sanctum of political power as he begins a dangerous affair with the general's mysterious wife. He becomes ensnared in a world where desire, loyalty, and cinematic illusion collide with forces far beyond his control. In theaters, April 17th. So George is a big star, played by Ferris, and he has the world on a string. Everyone loves him. But when the government starts calling, comes calling, and tells him, you need to be in a movie, star in our political propaganda film, or else they threaten to do something possibly to his son. And and George is saying, okay, well, that's a straw. I've got to actually kowtow to these people and start doing their bidding. So he starts this political propaganda film playing the president and in this supposed true story. And while he's shooting this movie, there is a lot of drama going on. As the plot summary says, he gets into a relationship possibly he gets into a relationship with the minister's wife. That's not a good thing. He has he's not divorced from his own wife yet, but he's living with a way younger actress, and she lives with him in his apartment. So he basically has three women in his life. He's trying to look out for the safety of his son, and he's trying to navigate this minefield of starring in a political film. And will this political film affect his career? Or most importantly, could it lead to his own death or a tragic fate that could befall any members of his family? So within these elements, there are a lot of thriller elements. This movie is also a movie that if you saw it on the big screen, it would it's the production design and the visuals are gorgeous. It really looks pretty on on screen. But if you are basically expecting a Brian De Palma or Alfred Hitchcock type movie, you're not going to get it. If you're expecting something like an Adrian Lyne Fatal Attraction exploitation thriller with quick cutting, you're not going to get it as well. This is, I believe, at least a little bit over 2 hours. This is a methodical, humanistic thriller that's more of a character-driven look at this actor. Again, played George Fahmy, played by Ferris. He's very good in this movie. It's about the principles that this really great actor has, but he's also a narcissist. What happens when you realize that you're not as powerful as you think you are amidst the evil clutches of this government? So that is Eagles of the Republic. Beautifully shot, really well acted, directed by Tarik Saleh. I have not seen the previous Cairo trilogy installments, the Nile Hilton incident and or Cairo conspiracy. Yes, Eric?
I don't know if this is a spoiler, but what you're describing, is that anything like Anniversary? Towards the end, people thought they were untouchable, and turns out they weren't untouchable.
Well, I will say this. You are a little bit right on that. Yes, there is a little bit of an element where, because Eric, sometimes in life you think you've got all the cards when really you think you have a really good hand, where actually the hand you've been dealt is not as good as a hand that's next to you. The house always wins sometimes. And that's not too much of a big spoiler for Eagles of the Republic. But I will say this, it has thriller elements. It's pretty to look at, but it's not a genre-fied thriller. It's just a very character-driven, humanistic exploration of this actor. And I know I'm making it sound boring, but I really love the character-driven world of Eagles of the Republic. Some people might find it to be a slog because, again, it is 2 hours and it takes its time to tell the story. But if you get into the groove of this atmosphere, which I did, it's really a feast for the eyes and a feast as far as the storytelling goes. Eagles of the Republic, for me, really love this film. 4.5 stars. 4.5 out of 5 stars for Eagles of the Republic. Let me see if it's playing.
Do they play Hotel California in this, or
they do not play Hotel California?
King of Hollywood, maybe?
It's in theaters April 17th. Egyptian set film. Definitely want to watch the previous, like I said, 2 installments of the Cairo trilogy. And Eric, I know you don't remember The Contractor that well, but if you look up on IMDb, you've got to say, "Oh, I remember this movie. I remember The Contractor."
I think I remember that. I don't remember the whole plot. I remember because it came out after Hell or High Water.
Yes,
It was like not as good as Hell or High Water, but it was still pretty good.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Ben Foster's still sort of the same type of guy, but not as great as his character in Hell or High Water, but still good. But that is, that is a Contractor, Eric Holmes. But again, that is Eagles of the Republic. 4.5 stars for me. April 17th in theaters by Cohen Media Group. We'd love to hear what you think of this movie. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care.